May 28th, 1954, the worst boating disaster in terms of loss of life took place on Lake of the Ozarks. There were 6 souls that were lost that day. One has never been recovered. And we're going to be covering this story from start to finish, if you will. That's the story of the Grand Glaze. And it's a tourist boat that used to leave from the Lockwood boat dispatch right down there by the Bagnell Dam. We had an interview recently with Captain Charlie Meyer, who has been doing lots of research on this, following up with some initial research done by the historian Mike Gillespie. And in this segment, we're going to learn a little bit more about when the boat went out and how many times they came back because the weather was bad that day. It was May 28th, 1954. That morning, or that day, May 28th, when they were getting ready to go out, the weather was iffy anyway that day, and it was the beginning of the Memorial Day weekend. And as I understand it from the story here is that people got on the boat, they bought their tickets, they got on the boat, and then somebody in the control tower said, nope, we're going to wait a little bit, we'll see what this storm does. And of course, they didn't have sophisticated radar like we have today, and storm forecasting and so on and so forth. So the people got off the boat. They actually got on the boat again and were held up a second time, and then I guess it was the third time that they finally went out. So there could have been some exchanging of tickets possibly with the Fahey's.
It's very possible, yes. Now, according to Perry, he recalls that the boat was loaded and unloaded at least 3 times.
3 times.
But he also, the testimony is clear not only through his testimony, but also some of the testimony from the Lockwood people, where there was never a head count. A final head count when that boat left, nor were tickets collected, given back, none collected and given back. From near as we can put together, the tickets may have been collected initially the first time. The people were allowed to get off the water or off the boat to seek cover briefly until the storms passed and then come back aboard. The theory that you kind of allude to is that perhaps there was an exchange, that maybe the Fahey's exchanged places with someone else. That's possible, but again, the testimony, when you read it, it doesn't support it. And there is the grandfather of Patricia Gump, who brought her and her boyfriend, 19-year-old Hodges, down, witnessed the people getting on the boat and recalls in detail them getting on the boat and recalls the number, which was 12.
To hear the whole story, be here weekend of Memorial Day. We'll be sharing that entire story with you. Of course, a complete interview with Captain Charlie Meyer, some segments with the captain of the boat, Captain Perry Graham.